Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going? What we doing, man?
All right, come on, bro.
Come on, dog. We recording now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You good? All right. Damn. Now I gotta cut all this shit out. Fuck.
Niggas about to say you cancel the first 10 minutes of the video.
Man, what?
Yo, welcome to Hubby. All right, go ahead, bro. I'm locked in for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the OPA to OPM podcast. I'm your host, Damil, along with my co-hosts, Alex and Markel. What's good with y'all?
What it do?
What's going on? Another great one.
Another great one. Another great one. And today it's going to be a little different kind of topic today, several different topics. I think Alex, you said you wanted to go over like different we normally focus on entrepreneurship in this podcast, but there are some people out there who entrepreneurship may not be their calling, right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is hard as fuck, and not everyone wants that, responsibility.
Yeah, it comes with a lot of stress.
Comes with a lot of stress. So not everyone wants that, right? So today we're gonna talk on different things, different skills you can acquire to build up your and I guess ways to make money besides the regular 9 to 5.
I guess another way you could state it would be to build a successful career without having to take on all the responsibilities of owning or being an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Or owning a business, I should say, or being an entrepreneur. So yeah.
And I was telling Markel, I was like, the way this topic basically came up is Damil and I were basically doing a podcast, and a guy had accidentally walked in, and we ended up just chopping it up with him. He was just like, yeah, you guys should talk about trades and stuff, and because not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur. I think it's less than 10% of people in America are entrepreneurs, and even less have successful businesses. Yeah. And people don't want to have the headache of having to deal with inventory, deal with customers and clients, deal with managing other people and all this other stuff. And it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And I think that episode is how to find motivation when feeling blah. That was the title of that episode. So if you go back to that episode, you can kind of figure out the setting we were in when someone approached us.
Yeah. So, and I had basically I had a guy ask me today. He was like, yeah, bro, I'm trying to get to another level, but I don't know if everything that you're doing is for me. Right. And, and I told him, I said, well, that's the thing. It's you don't have to do everything I'm doing. What most people don't really talk about is the fact that there's still things like trades out there. Mm-hmm. Being an electrician, being a plumber, those people still make good money. Don't get it twisted. And as less and less people doing those jobs, they're becoming more and more in demand because there is just a supply and demand curve.
Right.
And I know some plumbers, HVAC technicians, and all these other trades that are making well over $100K. They're making 120, 150. And, these people it's crazy. Y'all seeing on social media, it's frowned upon if you an electrician, right? Girls be like, oh, he's a what? No, I'm not dealing with that. Oh, a truck driver? No.
Fuck social media and their opinions, because half the shit that's on there is fake as hell anyways. I was actually just having a conversation about that earlier, but go ahead, bro.
No, that was it. It's just the fact that it's we, as a society, we start frowning upon these things where it's it's what's the term? A good, honest wage or living income, whatever the term is, where people are earning an honest income. That's what it is. And it's nah, these people still making money. Don't get it twisted. Average income in America is what, $50,000, $60,000?
Yeah, 43,000. I want to say.
I think after this past year, it went up because of inflation and everything.
Yeah.
But if you making over 50K, you're doing good. But in social media, it's this whole big thing where it's hey, my name is such and such, and I'm making $50,000 a week, and if you're not, then you're broke, and I'm 21 years old, and it's this big thing where it's this big pressure to try to be somebody that you're either not, to hit this ideal lifestyle as opposed to just earning that honest lifestyle? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
So I think that kind of goes back into what we was talking about on our last episode with the instant gratification, and like even how I just said, bro, social media is like, it's a highlight. Nobody's really going to talk about their lowlights or post their like what's really going on. It even took us to be vulnerable last episode or might have been 2 episodes ago, for us to speak on things we're going through right now. You know what I'm saying? So.
It is what it is, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
relax, Tyson.
No, bull. I think about to knock somebody out.
I'm trying to relax myself, but go ahead, man.
Yes. So, yeah, I think
Get this nigga thrown up.
when people stop living through social media or having their expected life goals to be based off of social media, I think that's when, you know, they'll start to wake up or start to have some type of self-realizations, because we always say, you know, self-awareness is way more valuable than knowledge in itself. So, and then to even piggyback off of bruh who DM'd you and was like, you know, well, everything might not be for you, but what keeps you going and what might keep you successful? And I had to look it up. Principles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you base your business off of principles, and I'm talking about like actual principles, then the definition is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system or belief. Like, a principle is something that, you know, it's the law, basically. So, I feel like once you establish a certain set of principles that you're going to follow within, whether it's your business or your lifestyle, that's going to help you reach a certain level of success, then you'll know like where to go from there.
Yeah.
I would say though too that, especially what you said when you said what girls may not appreciate, I guess the blue collar man. I would say, man, fuck what you even worrying about that for? Honestly, like, the shorty that's for you, you don't give a fuck about what the other shorties think. For real. Once you found a shorty that's for you, that bullshit don't even matter, man.
Right.
Honestly, that's the realest shit. Like, I'm at the point where it's like, especially like men our age, like, I think it'll never happen, but like, we need to be like, man, fuck social media, dog, because this shit is it's poison. There's not much there that's, you know, basically all that shit's toxic. You know, and so I'm like
it can be toxic.
It can be toxic. Well, depending on your algorithm, right? A lot of shit that people are like, men our age, we looking at ads. We're looking at the red pill. Women arguing back and forth between what they want and what men want. It's like all that shit. It's good discussion, but a lot of that shit is toxic.
It's a time waster, because at the end of the day, it's like you could really lock in to your goals and what you're trying to do. And like I was telling dude in the DMs and stuff, I was like, yo, focus on your foundation. Like,
right.
That's the main thing that you should be focused on. So to give a little context, I had somebody who DM'd me, and he was basically like, yo, with the money that I'm making right now, I'm not making that much money, but like with the money that I'm making now, what's the best thing I can do for my time to get the best return, right? More or less in those words. And I was like, yo, I'd be lying to you if I say, you know, oh, invest your money into this and that, you know, stocks or into real estate or into the car business or Airbnb. I'm like, bro, that might not be for you. And you might end up losing the money that you needed to stay afloat. The best thing that you could do for yourself to get the best return is investing in yourself. And I was like, yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but it's like, it's real shit. Like, get the books. Like, what people don't see, or what people do see, is like, oh, Alex got, you know, the lifestyle, Kel got the lifestyle, Demille got the lifestyle, right? Cars, houses, you know, all these extra things. But what they're not seeing on the back end, for me personally, I can't speak for y'all, but for me personally, they're not seeing the fact that, bro, I spend more money. We might have to turn that joint off again.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
There we go now. We good for now.
Are we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
All right,
What they're not seeing is the fact that I spend more money in my first 3 years on books, courses, and education, not
Mentorship.
school, right? Not school, but everything outside of school. In my from 2019, so probably from 2018 to 2021, and like 2022 was my breakout year, right? I spent more money on educating myself than clothes, traveling, and having fun combined. And that allowed me to start getting into different skills, right? That translated into different certifications. That translated into higher paying skills and higher certifications that paid out more. And I think that like that should be the focus. It's like, yo, find something that you are good at. You may not necessarily like it, but find something that you're good at that can give you a qualification that can now separate you from the rest of the people.
Okay, let me say this. Because I feel like we could touch on these different topics, right? But let's do something constructive to this episode. All right, let's construct a roadmap for the 18 to 28-year-old or to 18 to 30-year-old man, right? Whether you're just
woman.
old women, right?
I'm trying to get canceled.
No, not at all. Not at all. But this topic is we're mostly because when we talk about blue collar work, we're mostly talking about men. That's why I immediately went to that. Like,
That's his side of the couch.
okay, look, okay, don't go back to last episode. Someone trying to get someone canceled.
I don't recall.
I know.
Plead the fifth.
Exactly, but
Keep it PG.
but nah. So like, drop. Nah. Let's so for the 18 to let's say a young man, young woman is just graduating high school or a GED because everyone don't high school is not for everyone. What's their they don't have a lot of money or they probably don't have any money. So let's see, they may be going to school, maybe going to college, they may be going to a trade school, they may be getting a job. Like, what's the roadmap from starting from high school?
Easy. Educate.
Okay.
And open up your horizons, right?
And when you say educate, let's exactly what we talking about.
Yeah.
We talking about college? We talking about trade school? What are we talking about?
Not even like because again, I went to college. I graduated,
Right.
and I still think college is a scam. Like,
Yeah.
it's great if you need something that requires a licensure
Or structure.
and structure, but also networking.
Hold
like,
on,
with
hold
different.
on. So I'm not gonna be. I get what you're saying, right? Yeah. It's coming from someone who didn't go to college. I didn't go to college at all. Never stepped foot on a college campus for myself to go to school. College can be like college can be worth it if you're for certain fields because
That's what I'm saying.
you need a college degree. So if you want to be a
Doctor,
lawyer,
lawyer.
doctor,
That's what I'm
or
saying.
things like that.
Licensure.
Yeah, okay.
So if you need a license to do something, of course, then is great for that. If you're going for the intent of learning how to network with different people of different ethnic backgrounds and socioeconomic backgrounds, it's great. But let's be honest, most people graduating with a liberal arts degree doesn't translate to anything.
Right.
Most people aren't graduating with STEM majors, and even like, bro, my degree was in exercise science, lifting weights.
Talk about a waste of time.
Right.
Mine was in art and design.
Right. So it's like, and both of us are in tech. Our degree did nothing for it, but getting certifications, getting into the right rooms, and networking is what did it. So, a roadmap for the 18 and 30-year-old who's trying to get into something.
We're starting at 18. We're gonna make our way up.
Okay.
Nah, I feel like I like the 18 to 30 because bruh, like
No, we're gonna touch on the older we get, but let's start at for those who's just graduating high school.
no, but what I'm saying is
Okay.
I feel like the plan could fit.
It's universal.
Yeah, from like the age, even like if we want to stretch it from 18 to 35, only because, bruh, a lot of us graduated college. I'm not more so speaking for me, but a lot of my peers, Bro, a lot of them graduated college, did not know what they wanted to do after that. Couldn't find a job in their career. Don't work in what they got a degree in like us. So it's like, and a lot of them are miserable at their job. So I feel like, or not really doing well or in the position that they thought they would want to be. So even as a 25, 24, 26-year-old, I feel like that plan that's for an 18-year-old will still work for them. But
I get what you're saying, but there was the reason I wanted to stick to 18-year-old because there's someone, because like I said, we were going to touch on as we get to older, but there's someone who's graduating, because high school graduations come up in the next month or two.
This month.
Oh, this month.
Yeah.
Right, and so there's someone who's graduating high school.
That's like, what's next?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm been accepted here. I plan on going to school here, or I don't plan on going to school. You know, so what are my options?
So I'll say my piece, and if it fits, the glove fits.
Okay.
yeah.
No OJ. So the next thing is, again, get educated. And what I mean by that is start opening up your horizons, because most times when you start coming up through school, middle school, high school, it's like, all right, boom, here's a sheet of every job that you could possibly think of, and you need to circle one that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, and you better get good at it. You better love it for the rest of your life, because that's the only thing you're ever going to do in the rest of your life. And you're like, this is a lot of pressure for me because I'm 16, 17, 18 years old, right? Boom, first day of class. Guess what?
Let's stop hitting the couch because it is picking up on the mic.
Oh, my fault. It's my side. Cancel culture. So, but the thing is, like, boom, first day. Now, before the first day, it's okay. Here's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of debt, and I hope you make the right decision.
Right, exactly.
Or if you're getting started in the workforce, it's like, okay, here's your first day in the job, and you're barely making enough money to do anything, not even get by, because it's your first entry level job. You're not even making enough to get by, because you still got to live with your parents, you still got to live with family, you still got to live with somebody, and you still got to have them offset the other costs of your bills just to maybe make it, right? And you got to make these decisions that are going to impact you, because this job is not your first job, and it's going to carry weight to your second job if you're not going straight into to school. Right. So what I mean by getting educated, if you got to figure out what type of learner you are. Are you a visual learner? Are you kinesthetic? Are you auditory?
I feel like though when you're 18, a lot of people we don't know. We don't even
That's
know
what I'm saying.
Kind of
You got to get educated about who you are.
That's why self-awareness is more important than knowledge,
so
bro.
I will say this, right? If you're 18 years old, you're just about to graduate high school.
Take a test. There's crazy amount of online psychology tests.
Okay, yeah, do that. Also, a lot of people we don't know, like the world is your oyster, right? You don't even know exactly what your passion is, what your purpose is as of yet. And so I would just say, like you said, try a lot of different things. Like find out what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do. So
education
if you're going to go to school, take classes, take different classes and different things. Like you don't have to choose your major your first day on campus, do you?
No,
Not really, but
I don't think you have to do it within your first
2
semester.
years.
Yeah, first year you definitely have to do it by the first year, because you can only go undeclared for so long.
Okay, all right, but yeah, so just try different things. Things.
So
if you're gonna let me
go ahead.
So if you're going to go to trade school, if you want to work with your hands or different things like that, like find out what you're good at. Find out is construction something maybe. Find out if you want to be a plumber or electrician. If school is not for you. And if you're going to go just work a job, I believe if you're going to work a job, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you also want to, like Alex and Markel said, educate yourself. So getting books, financial books, doing courses, just try to be as experimental as you are, because you're so young. Like, let's try to find ourselves, and find out what we do well, what we don't do well, what like the career setting. Like, do you want to be in the office? Do you want to be, out in the workforce, or out in the everyday world, like on the road or whatever, blue collar things during the day? So, like, experiment as much as possible, I would say.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think mine's is a little different from y'all's because it kind of goes straight into the workforce, or basically trying to figure out what you want to do in life. And I'm gonna keep sticking with this whole self-awareness topic, but being 26 now and experiencing my 20s and stuff, and damn, it's certain stuff I wish I had when I was 18. I would start with getting a therapist. If we talking about
most times they can't afford that.
Yes, you can. Because through your a lot of people don't know you could afford a therapist through your
health insurance.
Yeah, your health insurance.
And if you're 18,
you're still under your parents.
Yeah, but to say if you're 18, you're still
up until
you're
26.
Yeah,
yeah,
25.
Ideally, they have health insurance.
Yeah, I mean, so
because I'm about to say we still in the privileged area.
Yeah, let's say ideally, you have I mean, there's even other programs out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, though most jobs offer health insurance, so parents should have health insurance.
Yeah, but let's just say I would hope for the average kid that their parents got health insurance, but I would start if you're not already taking care of your mental, start taking care of your mental. Start journaling. A therapist isn't for someone who's depressed or anything. I'm speaking from experience. I still go to therapy now, but it's more so someone that's going to give you an unbiased opinion and perspective on the world and how you can help navigate it better, especially growing into a young adult. So I think that's one area I would start, and then I would get a coach or a mentor in other aspects or areas of my life that I want to improve in. And I think, because you had mentioned foundation earlier, and I wanted to come back and touch on that topic and ask you what does foundation look like to you. But if I'm building out a roadmap for someone young, or even now, like I said, I would start with what does coaching or mentorship look like for you in other areas of your life? Do you need a therapist, a nutritionist, or a trainer? Let's get this this mindset prepared, and then that's where you get into the books and start figuring out how you mentioned the meal, try everything, but
day meal.
Oh,
it's all good.
Millie Mill.
Welcome to episode 403. Just now finding out.
Shit, but I think it's really important for us to bro. I wish I was just more self-aware at that age, and I knew the direction I wanted to go in, but I didn't know the how. And something I actually learned this week from a book is I had to stop asking, or we all have to stop asking. Yeah, we gotta stop asking how and ask who. Mm-hmm. Who's gonna help me, get to this next level of life that I'm trying to get to? What does that next level of life look like? Yeah. How am I gonna lose this weight? I mean, who's gonna help me lose this weight? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna help me become a millionaire? Not how do I become a millionaire? You don't know what that level of success look like, so how can you expect for you to come up with a game plan on how to become a millionaire?
Yeah. So to finish answering your question, the roadmap. If it were me, this is my advice to from 18 to 30. First,
hold on, because I said we're gonna touch on this because next age I want.
Damn, can I answer the question?
Go ahead.
Shit.
Because I feel like y'all skipping ahead a little bit.
I'm starting from
not
18
really
to 30.
because, bro,
because I'm gonna ask y'all what's the roadmap at 22 or 21.
Yeah, I would say it's the same thing because, bro, no funny shit. I know 18 and 19-year-olds that's doing better than a 30-year-old right now.
True. That's very much true.
And that's that 30-year-old is behind mentally and financially than that 18, 19-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said it really is universal.
And keep in mind the stuff that I talk about is universal because if it's only applies to one set, then it's a lot tougher to target that market.
Right.
And because like I've been doing this since, like, I'm not gloating, it's just like it is what it is. Since 19, I've been talking to 50-year-old and 60-year-old and 70-year-old people who are just like, yo, how do you know this stuff? And I'm like, there's certain universal truths. First, you got to know the type of learner that you are, because if you try learning everything and you don't learn yourself first, you'll learn nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now, figuring out who the type of learner you are, kinesthetic, visual, auditory, or I don't know the other one, right? That's going to show you, all right, should you be watching YouTube videos? Because school's not teaching you these things. This is why we struggle so much and why we say school's not for everybody. So for the 18-year-old who's getting out of school, understand that you weren't really taught how to really learn since first, second grade, and you learn your colors. So you're either going to watch YouTube videos, you're going to listen to podcasts, you're going to listen to audiobooks, right? You're going to figure out one of those things, or networking. So once you figure out how you start learning, next is, all right, what should I start learning? And that's by what Demille was talking about.
Demille.
That's what I said, Demille.
No, you said Demille.
I thought you said Demille too, but I
so.
thought you said it right.
So
he didn't. I'm hearing it through them.
They're really trying to move this over here. But anyways, so next is start figuring out what you want to learn. And the only way you can do that is by figuring out experiences. And that's getting into rooms with other people who are doing those things or doing different avenues, right? Networking event, go to Eventbrite, go to meetup.com, Facebook groups. And as you start listening to things that are talking about wide varieties, like $1 Million Mindset podcast, Earn Your Leisure, you're going to start getting
OPA to OPM,
right? OPA to OPM, where you're getting all these different experiences where people are talking about all these different arenas. Some people might be talking about cybersecurity. Some people might be talking about the turtle business. Some people might be talking about real estate. Something is going to click and align with you. And once you start getting those experiences, now you start going into those rooms and networking with those people who are doing those things. And then once you're in there, now you can start transitioning to get a mentor who's going to guide you through that process to get you to where you want to be at. And then once you get to the mentor process, you double down on everything that you just did. You go back to learning how you learn, because now you got a whole new experience, a whole new outlook on life. You got to retrain yourself, because again, we've been retraining ourselves since, you got into school. So I think that that's a clear roadmap from 18 all the way up to 30, or even if you're 40, 50 years old,
actually, yeah,
it still applies, because you still don't, every couple of years, you're a new you.
I actually love that whole roadmap, like from the start to finish.
A lot of practice.
Yeah. Nah, like I said, bro, like only way I could characterize it is stuff that I wish I knew back then that I just gained now. Like whether it's education, skills, like even for example, bro, me just getting my life insurance license, and all right, now I understand. Like we get life insurance through our jobs, right?
You can, yeah.
I don't. But so most people, I'm a federal employee, but I get life insurance through my job, right?
I would also still recommend that even if you still have it get through your job, get your own.
Yeah, get your own policy, because the one through your job is only a term policy, and a lot of people don't know that. And they don't tell you 30 days after you leave or retire from that job, you can convert that term policy that you've been putting almost $500 into each pay period, or probably once a month. You can convert that into a whole policy, and you own that policy. That whole time that you're there, the job owns the policy. So you're just putting money into a vehicle that's going to do nothing for you, just possibly take care of some minor, I don't want to say benefits, but casualties that come with death. Like if your, spouse needed to bury you, or your parents needed to bury you, X, Y, and Z. It's not accruing no cash value, and it's something that we don't learn about, or we never learned about, or what is an IUL, or what is indexing. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, damn, bro, my mom, like, she was my first client, and we had looked at, even though she's retired, we had looked at, her old pay stubs, what's in her TSP and stuff, and it made her sick to her stomach because she was like, I've been putting all this money into, this place, listening to the propaganda, that the job, and everything that we was always taught as a federal, employee, and all that money went to waste because, like I said, the job owned that policy, so she's not seeing none of that money. Mm-hmm. As opposed to if she owned the policy. And, bro, yeah, it's just so much deeper, like, with the education and everything.
Oh, time off for a second. All right.
So, yeah, you bring up a good point. It's just like, again, as you start your career and as you start progressing into your career, there's things that you have to unlearn. And most people are just like, yo, well, this is the way I do it because, and it's like, well, why do you do that? It's like, this is the way we always done it. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing that happens with, like, again, trying to get to your level of success. It's like, well, this is all I know is success. It's like doing this thing and being an entrepreneur. It's like, yo, that may not be for you.
Right. And so if you're not an entrepreneur, right, what are some of the different trades and what are some of the benefits and drawbacks to these trades? But also if you wanted to pick a career. So
I don't know if we can really speak on the drawbacks because we don't.
Well, that's true. So we probably would need to have. All right, so cool. So let's speak on like.
Well, I can say a few drawbacks.
Okay.
Time, right? Like you have to go through an apprenticeship to become that thing. Like you have to go to be an HVAC technician. You have to go through an apprenticeship to learn, and you're not making that much money up front.
Right.
And maybe for a few, like a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long it takes you to get to that point, yeah, you're going to be making minimum like wage or maybe a little bit less than minimum wage, and you're going to have to figure some things out. But the other thing is
that if you're younger, you probably have less responsibilities, so it's probably not that much of a...
Yeah, and the other drawback is now you don't really get to go out and party and have fun.
I'm going to say, yeah, but we're talking to that 18 to 30 crowd, bro.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So 18 to 30, you want to go party. You want to go party. Yeah. You want to hang with women. You want to take them out.
Or men, because we're talking to women too.
Or men. My apologies. You want to hang with the opposite sex or same sex, depending on whatever you choose.
You seen that video where the lady on the plane was like, "You need to leave."
I'm not gonna lie. So like, we're supposed to be turning them to two trades, like making them want to do a trade, right?
Well,
if entrepreneurship isn't for them,
so we're just giving them different options. Like,
we ain't even know. We was talking about the time thing, and I'm just like, damn, I'm not gonna hold you. If I'm watching this and I hear that, I'm just like, damn, what the hell?
Yeah, and so my point in saying that is that there's trade-offs to everything, because what happens is you have the drawback temporarily of like, okay, a year, 2 year setback. But what you're not seeing is if you try to go the career path, you might have a 10, 20 year setback, because some people, like an HVAC technician, as you go through the apprenticeship, or plumber, or electrician, you might be making 15, 20, sometimes even $40 an hour. Right. But as soon as you graduate, now all of a sudden it jumps up. Like it goes crazy. Right. And now you might only be like 3 years, 5 years in, versus somebody who's like, yo, I'm trying to go to this career position. It's like, well, in order to make that same amount, if that's what your goal is finances. Some people want work-life balance. Some people want,
no such thing.
No such thing if you want to be at a certain point, a certain level. Yeah. But if you're fine with being,
How about say we go to third world countries or other countries, like I seen some videos in Mexico where they're like, yo, I can go to my job, or Spain, like I can go to my job and then have time to be with my family. I think that's a beautiful thing, is that we don't talk about, or a lot of like podcasts talk about, is the fact that to be able to have a sustainable job and then be able to come back and enjoy family and stuff. Like most people ain't going to talk about that, but they also aren't going to talk about the dark side of being an entrepreneur, which is, yo, you don't have that time, especially in the beginning. Like it's always like, what do you see? The guy coming out in the Gucci belt and the nice cars and this and that, because they're they're successful now, and they're they got the little gray hair and stuff, and they travel and all this stuff. But what you don't see is the 10, 20, 30 years that it took them to get that business off the ground, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that they had spent. You can skip that by going to a trade and going to a job.
I mean, it's kind of similar though. Like if you're saying like the drawbacks of a trade, like say if you want to be an HVAC or a mechanic or any construction or any of those trades, you're gonna have to do, apprenticeship. But it's kind of similar to if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor. Like a doctor, you have to do a residency. You want to be a lawyer, I don't know. We have to be a paralegal first, or do you have to be a paralegal?
Something like that.
Something along those lines. So
before you make partner,
exactly. Not even before you make partner. Before you even become a lawyer and you do your own cases, you have to study under seasoned lawyers. Like you have to gather and do fact finding interviews and things like that. You have to do the grunt work. Yeah. For the lawyer. So you're going to have to sacrifice no matter what you do in any career fields. Like me as a firefighter, blue collar, you got to go through the academy, 6 months of Monday through Friday, a grind on your mind and body, because while you're studying for EMT or firefighting stuff, you're also doing
physical stuff.
The physical stuff, the practical stuff. So everything comes with a sacrifice. But if you're 18, 20, 25, you got time. More so if you're younger, because 25, some people you probably finding a woman who you might want to take serious or something like that. But especially if you're 18,
you gotta challenge that though.
Go ahead.
Because I seen somebody tweet, and it put it in perspective. They were like, "Yo, the biggest lie we were told is that you got time." And at first, I was with you. I'm like, "No, you do got time." As we get older. And I'm getting closer to 30. I'm like, yeah, bro. You got 10 years.
I'm 32 right now.
Damn.
Don't do that, Mom. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So, and I'm like, bro, when you graduate, let's say high school, you got 12 years before you hit 30, right? And if you go immediately into the workforce, that's 12 years of making some type of money. You go to college, then it's you get out what, 23, 22?
22.
So you only get 8 years of making money, and then life, after you hit 30, now it's all right, now you getting compound effects start taking over. It's the same principle when we're talking about the trades, and like you're saying, you got to put in that time.
Right.
No matter what you do, you're going to have to put in that time.
You got to sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice. You got to put in that time, and it's not immediate that it's going to happen. I was giving the guy who DM'd me, I was telling him an example that my mentor told me. And he was like, yo, your generation is so used to instant grits. And my generation, right, and he's 47, something like that, maybe 44, don't quote me, right? He's like, our generation is used to cooking grits on the stove. And I was like, what do you mean? At that time, because I was 19, 20 at the time. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, the grits take longer to make on the stove, but they come out tasting a whole lot better versus the instant minute grits that you, boom, put some water in it, put it in the microwave, and it's done.
But that's quality versus quantity.
That's the exact thing. It's oh, well, I get more grits and I get to eat faster. And it's yeah, but you're sacrificing the quality and stuff. And that's a lot of times where it's when we want to make money, we look to entrepreneurships to get the money. It's oh, I'm gonna do entrepreneurship to get rich and make money real quick and travel and live the lifestyle that I want to live. And it's yeah, but you're sacrificing the quality of life because you're always chasing that quick dollar. As quick as that money's coming in, that money can go right back out. But when you prep,
very much true.
When you prep that thing and you prep and put the time into yourself to hit that next goal and to hit that certification, to hit that training or whatever it is that you need to do to get that next level to separate yourself, now it becomes that much more worth it. When you get the EMT certification, you separated yourself. Because now not everybody got an EMT certification or firefighter or whatever certifications that you guys got to go through. It becomes that much more worth it. And I think that, again, that's not talked about enough. Is everybody wants to, yo, give me the game, how to do this, in 30 days.
Right.
Dog, sometimes you need to put in 2, 3, 5, 10 years to really craft yourself.
To master your skill.
That's
another thing like we were touching on. Pause.
No Diddy.
No. Go ahead.
Get closer,
that's another subject we wanted to hit on. Is like, yo, you gotta master your skill, right? And so one of the things, like, kind of go into the analogy is like, yo, it's more crowded at the bottom, right? Because everyone, like you said, everyone wants the instant satisfaction. Damn, I cannot time out.
Gratification.
Gratification.
You didn't even start the word off on the right letter.
Right? No. Oh man. Hey, look, I'm tired. It is what it is. Cut and action. Gratification. Everybody want the instant gratification, right? Hey, look, I'm hooked on phonics. Whatever.
Water at. Everybody take a sip.
Hey, nah. But nah. It's like the more you put into it, the better you'll get, right? And so, let's. You good?
All right, we back.
We're back.
Niggas just
Slight
tweaked
intermission.
out.
Yo,
These niggas burnt.
we are.
Do.
You good?
Nah, you remember when Kanye he came out and he was like, do. Stupid.
So instant gratification was the word I was looking for.
5 years later.
No bullshit.
But yeah, man. So I don't know, man. Somebody take over. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. I don't know. It's two directions I think we could go with this. I don't know if y'all heard about the Chronos versus Kairos theory.
Chronos versus Kairos?
Yeah.
What is that?
No clue what that
Chronos is when we live our life in chronological order, when in reality we're supposed to be living in Kairos. And don't quote me on it, but Kairos is...
Not this man take a sip and look me directly in my eye.
Yeah. That nigga said...
Nah,
Dog.
nah. It's payback from this vile nigga. Like, what the fuck?
Nah, you can't say eye contact is payback. That's crazy. Jesus.
But Kairos,
crazy.
I don't know the best way for me to explain it.
Oh. Y'all don't hear this, but the boys is coming.
Nigga about to fuck me up, bro.
Kairos. All right, so Kairos.
Oh, all right, yeah, my bad. Kairos. But Kairos is like the quality of time in our life. Like, so instead of living in a chronological order, like day by day, we basically Kairos is how time slows down for us. And I don't know how you hear like people always say like time is like speeding up, or I wish I had more time in the day. That's because we got to switch our focus, and this is going to sound crazy, but doing less will help you strive further in life.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to, where it's like the doing less can equal more, right? And the way that topic came up was that when I was telling him, I was like, yeah, bro, like to get to where I'm at now, to make the money that I was making last year, I had to do Airbnb, Turo, 2 to 3 different jobs, this and that, and all these little side hustles and stuff. But now it's like I'm at a position where I built up enough skills where one job, or like me having 2 jobs, like 2 key jobs, is all of that, is the equivalent of all that stuff. So it's like, he's like, so now what? Are you going to work less? I'm like, yo, I really could. I don't have to keep ripping and running around to do all these things. And I can have a better quality of life because I can focus on the things that I really am good at.
Less stress, less anxiety. That's part of Kairos too.
Like, like prime example, today I had to go from where I live in Virginia to Annapolis, like PG first, pick somebody up, Annapolis to go get a car, go drop that car back off in PG, down to Southern Maryland to pick up another car, go drop that joint off, pick up another car, and then drive back to VA, right?
Go ahead.
And on top of that, I still had to work my job, right? And I had, interviews and stuff like this, and it's like, that life is stressful. And I try to tell people, I'm like, yo, that's the life of an entrepreneur. You're going to have to manage multiple hats. You're going to have to wear multiple hats, and it's going to get stressful. Like, most people, let's be honest, most people are not built for that kind of lifestyle.
But I also think that's, bringing this full circle, that's where who, not how comes in to play. Because, all right, for example, you seen my systems, you're helping me automate my systems, but I didn't know until now that you was the who behind helping me not have to manage every single part of my business. You know what I'm saying? So now that done freed up, let's just say 20 hours. Like, I'm pretty sure it's more, but let's say that freed up 20 hours of my week that I get back to me now that I could implement in other avenues or focus on my unique ability.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I think we really got to start asking, being an entrepreneur is stressful, but, bro, once you really figure out that who, not how part, I think it'll take us so much further because, bro, like you said, or like how we both just said, doing less will help you gain more, essentially.
And you see a lot of those examples in, like, CEOs and business owners because it's weird because, like, when you talk to other people, maybe not directly to the CEO, but when you talk to people who are relatively around that same level, and they're talking about the CEO and they're talking about the C-level people, they're like, that dude ain't really all that. Like, he ain't really that smart. He just found smart people to do the things that he needs to do.
Right.
They specialize in all the things that he doesn't specialize in.
Yeah, but that he needs.
Yeah.
And how does that apply to somebody who doesn't run a business? You still need somebody to do your taxes. You still need somebody to do your financial planning. You still need some help with your budgeting. You still need some help with time management. And it's like you try to juggle all those things by yourself and like, I'll figure it out myself. I don't have the money to do all this stuff. It's like, yo, you saying that you can't afford something automatically places you in a position where you can't afford that thing. And because you can't afford that thing now, you can't afford to... You trying to be in that position of saying, I can't afford this, puts you in a position of not being able to afford it at all.
Yeah. Right. It's kind of like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. They say, poor people say, I can't afford something. And rich people say, how can I afford it?
Exactly.
So.
What is the other saying, too? It goes, you can't afford not to have it.
I think that was the part I was trying to get at. So you can't afford not to have it because you miss out on so much because you're trying to go the cheap route. And when you start going this cheap route, you realize, like, you get by, right? I got a prime example, bro, that everybody can relate to that has a car. Let's say tire goes flat.
Right.
And you're like, I need to do something, right? You have two options, either buy a new tire or a used tire. When you buy a used tire, it costs less, but it's worn down a lot more. So by the time that you finish with that one tire, you'll have to replace that same tire probably another 1 or 2 more times. So effectively, you would have had to bought 3 more tires, right? Versus getting the one good tire, and that joint's going to last you the life of the car. Same thing applies with who owns the Dallas Mavericks? He's on the
Mark Cuban.
Why did y'all say that in sync?
Because I admire that motherfucker. Yeah.
Right? He was like, yo, the reason I go to Sam's Club is because I'm going to get the whole, like, in bulk. It doesn't make sense for me to get one thing here, one thing there, and another thing is, he's like, yo, I know I'm going to need all this toothpaste or all this bread or whatever the case may be. I might as well just buy it at one time, save some money, and get it all at one time versus trying to inch my way through it. So a lot of times we go through life just trying to get the cheap stuff and just get by just enough to get to that next level, when in reality you ain't doing nothing but hurt yourself.
Right. All right. We good?
You good, T.I.? Hustle, man. Play me some Pippin, man.
And that's the episode today. Thank you for checking out another episode of the OPA to OPM podcast. We'll do better next week.
DeMille will do better next week.
David,
Man,
God damn,
go call some books, man.
Yeah, go do that.